Your greatest ideas never come into existence because you're always distracted. This to me is the modern paradox because we have access to all this information, we have access to all these people, all these ideas, all this news, and on the surface it seems like a great thing, right? We're more connected globally. But on the other hand, what this means is that the most brilliant thinkers in today's day and age are simply not getting the chance to develop their own brilliant ideas. In past times, great thinkers were very different. They spend more time in nature, they spend more time alone, they spend more time on long walks, more time just sitting and thinking about these ideas that they read about. Their time in isolation allowed them more opportunities to essentially clarify those strong ideas, whether they were innate ideas that came from them or ideas from books that they read and conversations with other people. But these days, it's kind of a foreign thing because when the modern person has time alone, oftentimes we consume. We're reading more things online, we're watching videos, we are perhaps watching TV. And no, don't get me wrong, people still go outside, people still spend time in silence all by themselves, people still think through certain ideas that they're toying with. Yeah, it is still something that happens. However, it's not as common. And the most brilliant thinkers in today's day and age, if they were born 300 years ago, their life would be very different versus what it is now because they'd get to spend more time in silence, more time assessing what really matters to them rather than letting external forces, whether that's from social media or the news or conversations with other people that you have on a daily basis, infiltrate their mind. I believe that everybody has breakthrough ideas already within them. But because we're so plugged in, those internal ideas that are already within us, they never get a chance to come up to the surface. Not to get woo-woo here, but there's this idea of the Akashic records that comes from theosophy. In simple terms, this is the theory, this is the idea that there's this universal library that's on this like another plane of consciousness. And this other plane of consciousness anybody can access, whether that's through dreaming, whether that's through deep meditation or hypnosis. This information, this universal library, if you want to call it that, is accessible to anybody. And the whole idea is that this universal library, the Akashic records, it holds every single human thought, emotion, word, and deed that has ever happened. People within the field of psychology call this the collective unconscious. People within the tech space or the physics space call this the code behind our reality. Whatever you want to call it, I think it's a great model. And in believing in it, it only benefits you even further. Now, not to get woo-woo here even more, but my whole point with mentioning this is that if you're always filling your brain with more information from sources outside of you, then it makes it more difficult to access that information that's already within you. When algorithms and mainstream media and things happening in your environment are essentially controlling your life, then it's impossible to think for yourself. Because after all, everything we experience, everything we consume, this influences our perception of the world. This influences our thoughts, our beliefs, our opinions, all these things that dictate how we interface with reality. And look, I am not above this by any means. I still consume content. I read books. I listen to podcasts. I watch YouTube videos. So I'm not sitting here on my high horse saying, yeah, you should stop doing this and just look inward, find the universal library. No, that's some bullshit, all right? Don't cut everything out. I'm not telling you to do that. However, what I'm getting at here is that you can and should be more intentional with what you consume. Along with this, you can and should take time every single day to just embrace silence, whether that's in seated meditation, whether that's going for a walk in the woods, whether that's just plopping down on the couch and staring at the wall. All these things are so impactful for your mind. And what you'll begin to realize is that many of the problems you're facing in your life do have solutions. And those solutions are already within you. They come from your intuition. And when you're always plugged in, when you're always consuming, when you're always reacting to things happening in the external world, your intuition becomes very quiet. You're in this mode of conscious thinking. But the intuition, this comes from the subconscious, all right? And the subconscious is connected to this higher plane of reality, whatever you want to call that, all right? So, yeah, I know it's hard to unplug. It's hard to break those behavioral conditioning loops of always reaching for your phone when you're bored or always putting on the TV at night when you come home from work. But trust me, just take some time every single day to embrace silence. This works wonders. This way, when you're having conversations with other people, when you're writing, when you're creating content, if that's what you do, you're not just parroting the same opinions and ideas and beliefs that other people have said. No, you're tapping into this new, this fresh and authentic perspective based on all the information that's already within you, all right? And every now and again, of course, you can take ideas from other people and you can put your own spin on them. That's cool. That's how new ideas are formed, of course. But you're not totally controlled by these external ideas and these external forces. So I know we're living in crazy times where technology is always advancing and society itself is always shifting to keep up with it. But this isn't just stressful. This is exciting, because what this means is that with these shifts within society, with these advancements in technology, new ideas are available. They are out there. And it all starts with stepping back from the noise, embracing silence, and truly tapping into that deep, innate, and meaningful thinking of ideas that are already within you. I have much more to share on consumerism and technology and algorithms, but I'll save that for some other video. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.